Atlanta Space Bear. Oh, sorry. A big map, though, and not as bad win rate-wise for Terran. But our StarTale player over here in the red on this creep. His idea is...
StarTale July.
What did I actually say about that?
You said it was Metropolis.
Oh, no.
But this guy is a Golden Mouse winner, called the God of War. The Sauron Zerg.
Well, when he actually moved in with his Ultralisk the first time, I was really like, yeah, this is the Swarm. But, well, the Terran player that we have on screen right now, the incredible Miracle player named...
LGIM YoDa.
His defense, which was just too good. But that is the problem. If you're known for a style like this, you have to assume that your opponents will be ready.
Yes.
And it always makes me cringe a little bit when a Zerg player actually attacks into a Terran that is so sieged up so well.
Well, the thing is that it's like, when you see this, it's very clear that it's just like, I'm going to do this no matter what strategy. Where he had no idea whether there were 5 siege tanks there or none. He was just like, well, I practiced this build and I'm going to do it now. Because if you make that many banelings, then it's very hard to just go, well, I guess I won't attack and then go home. It's almost impossible to do that, but you can do that. Or if you scout before you make the banelings, then yeah, you have a lot of Zerglings that aren't useful, but you can, I mean, there's like you said, there's a less wasteful way to play oftentimes.
If you watched the resources lost in the last game, July fell farther and farther behind with every single attack. And the one thing, you know, the one thing that will stick with me for quite a long time, did you see this one siege tank for YoDa at the first attack that was positioned at the 3rd base to the left side of the mirror line? That was beautiful. He had this siege tank at this position for the entire time up to the point where the Mutalisk finally picked it off. But this siege tank did so much damage.
Without that tank, actually, the Zerglings could have done a lot more because that
especially
tank,
the Banelings.
Yeah, the Banelings as well. But then even after the first engagement, he didn't kill it with his Lings. The Lings kept running back and forth on that choke point in between the natural and the 3rd, and the tank just got so many kills. It was a great position. YoDa, so well set up of any situation last game. He just was ready for everything.
I really liked how he played. I'm always a little bit overexcited when July plays. He is the God of War after all, and this guy, just the story of July is really something that you have to love. But how YoDa played, that was really impressive. And this does not bode well for July, because he's facing a very, very strong Terran player here. And defeating him not only on Atlanta's spaceship, but also on the 3rd map, if it comes to a 3rd game that is, will be really hard.
It certainly will. By the way, July is getting speed again, but he has cut gas once more, so he's not going to be going for any hyper 2-base aggression. Just going to be getting those queens out, then probably adding a 3rd and 4th very soon after. He's going to delay his 3rd base a little bit, and this is not the most popular style right now. Most people like to get their queens way before speed, because you usually, especially on a big map like this, you make very few Zerglings. If any more than 4, it's very unusual. So that's why a lot of people don't really get speed anymore, because they're like, well, my Zerglings that I make, which are only 4, are a little bit faster here, but to defend against Hellions, I'm just going to use my queens.
I want to see what YoDa is going to do right now, because so far I think what he can really rely on is the fact that July is, I want to call it impatient. He's not a player who really waits for a long time and tries to play this cautious game where he opts for his late game composition and tries to go into a Broodlord tech straight away. Maybe we'll see something different from him on a map like Atlanta Spaceship. But if YoDa just tries to play to his strength and plays very defensive here, takes the 3rd base, and there's already the command center, then he should be able to get ahead once again. I really want to see what both of them are doing right now. From July, I would hope for a plan that evolves more about a late game composition, and from YoDa I basically want to see a very similar style to what he played on the last map, and playing very defensive and coming from a strong defense.
Yes, and you know, the way he attacked was always so careful as well. July's are both games using just 3 Zerglings to pressure his opponent. We saw both games YoDa having just 1 Marine in the low ground bunker, and that alone is not enough to really shut down these Lings, so he has to be careful with his mining. And he lost a little bit of mule time there, but he's going to be okay.
I just think that with the early aggression against a player like July Zerg, you will end up in a worse situation than before. I can't actually remember if I've seen any games where July Zerg was attacked in the early mid-game or the early game and lost the match.
That's true.
I can't remember if I've ever seen that.
Well, I think I've seen him die to a bunker pressure type build, but it's very rare. And you know, this Overlord timing here is actually quite nice. He sees the factory, sees 2 additional barracks going down, so he knows, okay, reactor Hellions are done, but there's no Banshee. The one thing he didn't see is that there's no, or he didn't see a 3rd command center, but he can assume that. He knows he didn't really see very much of the base. He probably saw the double E-base as well. I'm going to check that right now. He did not see that, but that's also something that he can expect. And his upgrades are actually ahead of YoDa's this game around.
Yeah, he's already going for the 1-1, as you can see on the production tab.
It's
Harvest
really,
account is highly in favor of July, though.
yeah, he's been making a ton of drones this game. It's really comfortable as a Zerg to know you're not going to face Banshees. You don't have to make an Overseer, you don't have to make any Spores, and you don't really have to worry about where your Queens are. So that's always a great feeling. Now, these 4 Hellions continue to deny vision on the Watchtower, and this is going to scare July a little bit because they're now heading towards his 3rd base. He's only got the 1 Queen there, and he's not reacting. He's sending his Zerglings the incorrect direction, so he could lose some drones. No, the Hellions retreat. A little bit odd.
Well, he doesn't want to overcommit here. He knows that there are speedlings already, and as soon as he walks into the creep, the Hellions won't be slow. Well, they won't be fast enough. The Zerglings are just too fast with the creep, and of course also the speed upgrade, and then they will just close the distance around them, take them down.
I thought his idea was to try to bait the Zerglings off creep and then fight them, but it looks like since he's so uncertain as to where they are, he's trying to be super careful, as he played in the first game super carefully, and I can respect that.
He's supply blocked, therefore he can't get his siege tanks up.
Yep, that's true, and uh-oh, the Hellions actually get caught. Oh, he didn't micro them as well as he could have, and actually, you know, it's always a gamble to attack Hellions like this, but in the end he caught them.
Yeah, he basically what he tried to do here is he hoped that his opponent would be busy in his main base, and this was the case. YoDa did not really pay attention to the Hellions for a second. The Zerglings swoop in, surround them, take them down, and suddenly YoDa loses his opportunity to use them, not only with this push that he's currently starting, but also the map control that he wants to have.
Yeah, it's impossible for him to deny the Watchtower now, so this push that's coming across the map will be spotted. July will react, and that may be something that he's planning on already. Double Spire, by the way, coming out for July, so you can get those double upgrades. This is something that Lenok does.
You can also already see that he is not planning on staying for some kind of greater Spire composition. No. But he's getting a 4th base. He's getting a 4th base already.
Yeah, both of them taking their bases in the center, in fact.
YoDa is not, by the way, this is not an attack by YoDa. This is basically YoDa trying to take down creep and maybe drop, because as long as he has those units and there's no anti-air, he can always just lift those Marines up.
And he's gonna, you know, if he sees a ton of units here, so he's like, oh, okay, well, I can't force any more units because July has enough to defend, but if July were playing a little bit greedier, it would have forced a lot of Lings and Banelings to be morphed, so that's another aggressive thing we can do with this. And as long as he gets up and picks up every time like this, then it's totally fine, he doesn't lose anything. And then, until the mutas are out, you can keep doing this, and once the mutas are out, yeah, he'll probably lose 1 drop, but that's fine, because then he'll be like, alright, well, this is the time where the mutas are out. So that's scouting information he's able to obtain from
Baneling hits though and takes down all of the Marines, so it didn't pay too much attention to the strong play, while probably just executing, getting his upgrades done in the main base. You can see that he just started +2/+2.
You know what's really interesting is that YoDa's taking a center base where there's triple gas, which is a little bit riskier of a base to take, but he's not taking the gases there. However, July has not seen this. He has a Zerling at the normal third. Uh-oh, this army is surrounded, but there's not enough to actually take it down. But this is pretty cool because July now doesn't know if YoDa has a 3rd base.
Oh, the pool is about to die here.
Oh, wow.
I don't think that he can save the pool, to be honest with you. No.
He cannot. He immediately restarts it before it's even dead, and starts a ton of Zerglings as well, knowing that he won't be able to make them for a while.
We have +1/+1 for the air units being researched here, and I want to know when exactly July is going to attack. He certainly has 91 drones against 69. What happened to the July Zerg that would always stick to 60 drones and never get more than that? He has at 90.
Well, he's changing things up, man.
He definitely does. Infestation bit coming out of the Zerg player once more. +2/+2 for his ground units is nearly done. YoDa's not quite as fast, but still also going for the 2nd wave of upgrades.
Yeah, and YoDa is going into this base over here, the 3rd base location of July. He's going to get the Queen, and he's forcing drones off the line.
YoDa's playing this really smart. He always has a couple of units that cause trouble. The 1 drop in the main base, this one. This is not only to do damage, but at the same time to play very positional. He tries to get into this position that we see right now in order to siege up here. He's willing to sacrifice a few Marines and this 1 medevac. Very well done. And ooh, he just siege up again. Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he's not going to quit. He's bringing the Marine over for more vision.
Yeah, he's heading back now.
Yeah. Eventually, it's a little bit too much for him. 2-2 about to finish for YoDa. The Zerglings right now of July are on 2-2 already. +2 is on the way for his Mutas. He may start +2 Carapace. But the Hive is on the way, and July has taken a hidden base on the right side. However, it's not hidden anymore because YoDa has spotted it with a retreating medevac. A great retreat path to scout that base. And YoDa is taking a 4th command center of his own.
I love those 2 Thors for YoDa. He's getting them early on because he knows his opponent's style. He knows that there are already a lot of Mutalisks on the map. I don't know, did he spot the double Spire?
I don't think he has. I will check for you. No, he doesn't know.
No, he doesn't know about the double Spire, but he's getting the Thors nonetheless, and the Thors will help him to defend against this. +2 armor has been started for the Mutalisks. Very nice control here by both of them. YoDa trying to manually snipe 1 or 2 of those Mutalisks, and July immediately moving a few of them back. So I like what July is doing here, getting those air upgrades. I'm interested to see how many Mutalisks he will get in this game.
As am I. And he's actually cleaning up drop after drop. He's fighting Mutas versus Marines straight up because he has those upgrades. They're able to
He doesn't have too many right now. 10, he's getting another 6, but how many will he end up with? That's what I'm really curious about.
Yeah, I'm curious as well. Uh-oh, this Spire may actually be sniped here, depending on what these Marines decide to go for. And he does target the Spire. Remember, there are 2 of them. This one is, in fact, the one that is researching +2 attack, and he's going to save it.
Not gonna happen, not this time.
Nice save.
Yep.
But YoDa is moving across the map with a ton of units. This push is looking really scary. He's going to siege the center base again. Going to deny gas. Well, gas isn't even being mined from that gas geyser right now. But
what would help July now is 1 or 2 overlords to the left side of the map. This is already the 2nd drop that arrived in his main base. And if he would position a few overlords to the left side of the map, then he would spot them a lot faster.
A good angle of attack from July. He's going to have his Banelings try to connect with the Marines, but instead, now they're going for the siege tanks. That was very cost inefficient. Look at the supply.
The Thors are
God.
gone. The Thors are gone. At least he's trying to, but 6 kills already on this 1 Thor. The Mule is clustered up way too much, and he's already down to only 8 remaining ones.
Then the drop, it continues. Another wave of units is coming across the map. Things are looking scary for July. A ground force goes down to his 3rd base as well.
A relentless attack by YoDa, and once again, July running out of lava. He has 3,000 minerals and 1,000 gas, but he does not have the lava to support this. His production is crippled.
Yeah, it's very crippled indeed. Tumors being taken out as well by YoDa. He is relentless with these attacks. 9 more Bans on the way, +3 flyer attacks with +3/3 coming out for July, but YoDa has surpassed him in upgrades. A Greater Spire has been started as well. He's no longer getting +3 Carapace for his Mutas. And he's trying to pick off units here, but the defense of YoDa is quite stellar right now.
I have to say, if July builds 1 or 2 macro hatches and queens, think about how YoDa would get crushed here. July is playing a great game as it is, but just think about what would happen if he would be able to put all these resources that he has to good use. Right now he is, of course, in the game. He has a supply lead, and he's getting all these upgrades that you talked about. He's even harassing with the Mutalisks once again. He has a lot of them. He rebuilt like 10 and is now even getting Ultralisk, but he could be in such a great position with only more lava at his disposal.
This is actually a pretty good attack for July so far, but his base in the center is still under attack. It may fall. It's down to 150. No hit points. He takes out the base in the center. He's taken out several drones as well. July now down to 59 drones to 70 SCVs.
It's a great game. YoDa with 1 attack after another. It's a barrage of medivacs that are just hitting July everywhere. To the left in his main base, the pool got sniped. At the bottom, we always have a few units running by. Also, of course, the 4th that just died. You pointed out that there was like the 4th attack that he had to defend against. So YoDa with a very, very nice grasp on the map and where he can hit his opponent. I really like it.
Yeah, YoDa now almost doubling July's income. 1,800 to 1,000 minerals per minute for YoDa. Now, YoDa did survive with his planetary in the center of the map. The mutas that were attacking it were chased away. He has not taken another command center at the right side of the map, but he has 2 idle orbitals at his natural that he can use. He can float over whenever he wants, and YoDa's adding another command center. I expect that we will see him make this Raven switch fairly soon as well if the game goes much longer, because the economy is insane. He's got 1,400 gas banked up here. July is the one who actually has to make a miracle happen right now, not YoDa, and YoDa is totally fine. And July, yeah, he's remaxed again, but his economy is still really hurting. He needs more bases, and he has to be aggressive because YoDa has so much economy right now. He has to do both.
Yeah. YoDa forced him back on 3 bases. The 4th is being retaken by July, but he has a big problem establishing a new base, as you already said. It's not going to be easy for him. He has a lot of upgrades, but in the long run, YoDa will probably force him back once again. If July does not do enough damage with this army, and he has more army supply than his opponent, nice using the Mutalisks to go swoop in there and take a few units out. There are not a lot of Marines. Actually, he could have just attacked it, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could have certainly at least picked off at least a tank.
That looked like there were a lot more Marines than there actually were. Once again, a drop to the left side of the map. I pointed out earlier, an Overlord would really help him here. He wouldn't have lost the Spire. It doesn't really matter all that much, but because he has a second one. But
he's going to lose the Ultralisk Cavern.
This will.
And he's not done. He is killing drones. And he may get the queen.
Just imagine 2 Overlords to the left side of the map. He would spot them so much faster and could send the Mutalisks.
I forgot to mention this earlier, by the way. He did have a Viking cleaning up Overlords on the left side of the map earlier. That may be why July did not have anything in to spot him.
The Viking was killed ages ago when the first Mutalisks arrived.
He could have definitely sent some more Overlords over there by now, for sure.
It would have helped him a lot. But, well, he didn't, and therefore this drop play is working. And YoDa identified that there is something that he can exploit.
Yeah. Now he's remaxed and he's got full upgrades. He's in a great position here with the siege tank spread. He's just got tank after tank behind tank. It's so hard for July to actually make a smart decision to attack. He's still at 50 drones versus 70. July's army supply is higher than Yo's at 150 to 130. But his economy is really, really weak right now.
And YoDa is getting another 2 bases. Now here we go with the Brood Lords. Vikings are being produced. He doesn't have any at this point, though this transition is really surprising YoDa. And now July is moving in with the ground force, with the ground army, supported by the Mutalisks. The Broodlings and the Broodlords a little bit too slow to follow suit, but now he's trying to crush this army. He's moving in immediately. Another stim by YoDa, and YoDa is forcing July Zerg back,
YoDa
at least for now.
Crushing this army. He has so many units. July, this is the weakest Zerg army that's maxed out with Broodlords and Ultralists I've ever seen. It looks like, with how many units YoDa has now, quickly he's crushing through. The Broodlords and the Mutalisks are falling. The Vikings are helping out here, and July may be out of steam.
The problem once again is the lack of infestors here. Now he's building them. He's playing with an army. He does not really like infestors, I think.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
July is a player that really likes fast units, like Zerglings, Banelings, and he likes Mutalisks, a very mobile army. And infestors are just not part of his game plan. Now with the late game transition, he starts to get a few of them, but it's already too late. There are the funnels. That's something that he would have needed earlier. All those Marines in the last fight, they were down on the last deck. There they are, all of them dying, and that's the funnel that he needed like a minute ago.
Yeah, exactly. Infest is so critical in this matchup right now, especially the way it's been played. We do see the Planetary remains alive. The top left base has been taken, as well as the right side now. 3,000 minerals per minute for YoDa right now. That's not 10 mules, but
not even 1,000 minerals per minute as an income for July.
Just look at the minerals of YoDa at the top right. Watch how fast they go, and look at the production tab with everything he's spending. He's still trying to keep his minerals below 250, but it's actually just physically impossible for him.
I love his mechanics. He is great when it comes down to making good use of his minerals, of his resources. They're always so low. And of course, July is forcing him back a little bit with this army that he currently has. But this endless stream of units, it will not end. He will not stop. YoDa will not stop. He will put pressure onto this base. Maybe at some point he will just wait and accumulate a big army before he hits again. But this is going to be really dangerous to July.
Yeah, he really does need to wait now, because basically now he's losing his entire army to fight Corruptors that he's not killing. And he actually will get a Broodlord this time, though. It does get the Brood, but he's going to lose everything. And July's supply is it's lower than YoDa's because he doesn't have an economy. But if YoDa continues to throw away units like this, it will give July somewhat of a chance to recover. But he needs another base so badly.
Have a quick look, please, at the production buildings of YoDa. Are there a lot of units queued up? I actually think that's all right. It's not too bad. He still has a little bit of production left.
Yeah, he's buying everything he can.
But here's the income that we talked about earlier, and you can already see that YoDa is way ahead of July. So July has really made this work. How many Vikings do we have? That's a very crucial thing here. Only 2. There are 4 Corruptors and the Brood Lords. But now finally, with Infestors in the game, July might be able to catch get a good couple of funnels off. to even things out again.
Oh, but the position on these Corruptors is so good. Even though there are Marines on both sides, he's able to take out the Vikings, but he can't protect these Broodlords forever.
YoDa has a lot more bases than July. July is, as you said, running out of steam, but YoDa has to be careful here.
Yeah, I'd like to see YoDa max and then attack again.
He's now rallying units towards his I think it's the 5th or the 6th space, I actually don't know. But that's where he's now gathering units, and if he is able to get enough of those Vikings out, then he will be able to make this work against the army. July finally focusing on Infestors, and now he has additional 8 on the way. That will put him into a position with 14.
But he doesn't have very many of them right here, and the army of YoDa is going to surround him very quickly. He stutter steps in. There's not enough bungles left. The Broodlords are falling, and the Infestors are out of energy. This may be it for July. Once he loses these Infestors, he will not be able to hold off these attacks anymore. Oh, another Infestor does get the fungal. Oh, you guys didn't see that? That was actually history in the making with that fungal. Oh my god. Oh, and now this one.
That is actually really good.
He's trying to do what he can, but he's down 70 supply here, and his economy just is too weak.
He can't keep up with YoDa. 170 supply against 90, and the 4th base is once again being attacked. It's going to be too much in the long run.
Yeah.
He's losing more and more Infestors. This is just too much. He would have the Infestors in the engagement with the Ultralists and Broodlords. That's the one thing that July really needed. All those Marines, they stimmed over and over again. He could have won this. July GG's. YoDa takes it 2-0. A well-deserved win, but at the same time, a lot of potential in July that he did not use.
Yeah, not all of his potential was realized, that is for certain. YoDa's so patient, so wise with his economy. A very strong defense into aggressive player. He's like, until maybe like 15 minutes into the game, he just defends, and then after that, he attacks, and then never stops attacking. He's like, oh, your mutas are gone? All right, now I can drop you 6 places at once, including your main base where you don't have overlords to spot, and then just, he's all over the map.
July could have taken this position where he is all over the map. More lava when he has those 3,000 minerals and the 2,000 gas, and he suddenly can produce a lot more Mutalisk. He can get a lot more in. He can get Infestors, he can get Banelings, Zerglings, whatever he desires to choose in order to take down his opponent. If he had those additional lava, I think YoDa would have had a really, really tough time in the mid game. That would have been so horrible for him. He really struggled to defend against the composition that July had as it is. But if July would have suddenly been able to use all those resources, I think that would have been a very, very tough game for YoDa.
Yeah, I mean, there was so many resources unspent in both of those games. So, well, we are going to take a 5-minute break, guys. When we get back, we have another match coming up for you guys, so stay tuned. Don't miss it. Tell your friends to tune in as well. This is the afternoon session of Code A with Caldor and Wolf.